Okay, welcome anyone who's watching. This is a quick video I'm going to do using Geometer Sketchpad and also an app called Smoothboard as I try to bring through this nexus of an accumulation of, I don't know, sanity, insanity of being involved in education from pre-K up through post-secondary, through marriage and through work, and then dealing, at least in my estimation, with a bunch of people who don't quite get math and therefore can't quite necessarily make sound decisions for how math and computation is going to come together for our kids. I could be wrong on that. I've been wrong before. But anyway, we'll see how this goes. So I'm demonstrating an application that kind of pops up a lot of places when you're out looking out at what people are sharing excitedly about things in math. So I'm just going to show you what the portion of Smoothboard that we're going to use here is just literally right here. It's the one that goes between annotation, right, where I'm sketching on something else, or it goes down to navigation. And so this is actually designed so you can use a Wiimote as an input device. So that said, let's just see what happens when I go to annotation and I sketch right now. I'm going to use a red pen, and as I sketch this, you see I was saying I had pixelizing, and I realize here what's great about that, I can hit that screen and I'm in the white screen mode, so I can kind of draw a little person here on the screen, you know, big head, perhaps that's me. And this is a $29 app, but right now I can then go back and go to navigation here, and at this point I'm in the program. So if I go to sketchpad here and I draft something up here, and then I draft perhaps another line here, and then I draft another line here, so I'm going to draft a line there, from there to there. Is it finding it? And at this point kind of draft another line, and it's kind of hard to make out, but the ability of turning the annotations on and off may or may not work as I go through. So I've kind of improperly drafted something here, can't necessarily from there to there, and I can go back now to annotation, and if I wanted I could just erase all. It's all gone, except of course for the fact when I go back now, once again it's unregistered. It's going to pop up in the middle a little bit, back to navigation here. Now I'm back into sketchpad. Now why sketchpad? Well, for one thing, I'd never defined a coordinate system, so let's go ahead and define it, and we're going to go ahead and put the coordinate system right there in the middle of that person. And in effect, I think if I actually grab this and that together and then I do merge points, it's going to move the coordinate system to where I want to be. Why do that? Well, there's lots of different things we can do. Let me try that again. I'm going to grab one point, and I'm going to grab another point, and I'm going to go back to merge points. It's kind of cleaning up some of my graphics, if you would think. Now, when one's doing drafting in SketchUp or AutoCAD or something like that, one of the things that you really try to get is continuity of points and endpoints, though what topology, or trying to do topology in something like GIS did, what they came up with a lot of cleaning programs that would say that if a couple of points are within a certain distance, close them up so you get this kind of good good topology where you actually have closed regions where things are actually closed polygons in terms of the topological math. So that said, why do this? Well, amongst other things, one thing you can do with this program, Sketchpad, the first thing kids learn when you go to analytic geometry is x squared plus y squared equals r squared. Right here, if you go to the equation right there, the equation is labeled right there. So they can see that that is the equation, and as his head gets bigger and bigger, right, and you see that his head gets bigger and bigger, that equation changes. You can do the same for a line. You can grab that line and you can measure. In this case, it doesn't necessarily let me measure the line because it's actually a line segment, but it measures the slope of the line. Now I'm going to try to go ahead and see if I can draft a line here and see if it actually does give me the equation of the line. I'm going to draft a line from there to there, and now this time when I grab that and I say measure, it does actually let me get the equation. So there's some things you've got to do with it, but what people start to realize very quickly is depending on how things occur, right, we can do it. You start to see the relationship immediately, even if students don't necessarily are not able to kind of completely grab the algebra, they can start to see that geometry and algebra are the same thing. And you can eventually, I'll let you know that this came to me via an artist across the street. And the linkage that I'll put at the end of this video will take you out to the path that got me to sketch up. But that said, let me just show you some of the kind of manifestations of linkages that come from this. The mathematics of linkages comes from mechanical design, and I'm sure a lot of other things. Medicine, sports medicine, that if I go ahead and there's that, they're not going to let me move it because they want me to register, and I'm gonna, only on one computer. However, I'm going to draft a line here. I'm going to put that close to the circle. Now, however, I'm going to grab, I'm holding the shift key and grabbing two things there and then going edit, and I'm going to merge to the circle, which now lets me do this right here, display, and animate that point as it goes around. That's all well and good, but however, it's still not, I don't know, that impressive until you do something like this. Draft a line here, and then I'm holding the shift key again on the line and the point. I'm going to construct a perpendicular line, and I'm going to animate that point again. Now, what's possible with this, especially if you get some stuff in the classroom that actually moves, gears and the like, is for young inventors slash mathematicians slash artists, engineers slash teachers to really start realizing that this line that we started to divide between artists, engineers, architects, mathematicians, I presume post Da Vinci, needs to be quickly and thoroughly expunged as early as possible in the educational process, or we will put our kids at a severe disadvantage. This piece of software here, again, for a family, 30 bucks, gets it on 3 computers. It's not perfect, but it, along with some applications like Grapher or PacificT.com or Crayon Physics or Funland Physics, Algoroo, is what many people are trying to get across as they ship laptops over to Rwanda or Uruguay, whether it's because the governments themselves financed it or because we are feeding our kids with fruit roll-ups. And I hope you get that analogy. I'll try to link that video out here too. So this is just the demonstration. A set of instructors and great teachers at a local institution are used to the rantings and the ravings. The rantings and the ravings come about from my kids having incredibly good instruction, innovative instruction, well financed by the community, and well animated by a set of professional staff that are going to be coming under some foolishly targeted aspersions over the next couple of years. And my sense is that we'll get through it. We'll get through this in education, but not if we don't start adapting some of this stuff that is so important for us to get us back in the realm of Da Vinci. All right, so that's the end of this. I did 10 minutes. Just let's try it one more time just to fill out the full 10 minutes. I'm going to go back to annotation, and I can now draw some more stuff on top. Right, and you'll see you kind of got to go slow when you get to this. And what the other things you can do with this is smoothboard I'm doing now. You can hit some snapshots. So I'm remembering snapshots, you know, kind of like the Elmo type thing. I can erase some stuff, all right? I can actually, don't know what I can do with this. I can use the highlighter, right? I can erase all of my annotations, and that's what you can do with smoothboard. And we'll try it next with the Wiimotes connected. Thanks for listening, and I'll try to link out the videos to this, to sketchpad historical, and a couple other things. Thanks for listening.